Hello Australia, welcome to My Millennial Money Express. I'm Glen James and this is a short form podcast. I talk about anything relating to personal finance. If you've got anything you want covered, jump onto mymillennialmoney.com and you can click submit a question for the show and we'll add to the question bank. And hello if you're watching on YouTube. We're filming a fair bit of crap on YouTube, which is a lot of fun. Now, in the Facebook group, Ethan asks, just curious if there's anyone here investing in cars at all, big or small. He basically says, my personal car has had a market shift of 10 grand in less than 2 years with more desirable cars like the R32 GTR Skylines that have gone up 40k in 2 years. Is this something that you guys would see as a viable investment, or am I just trying to satisfy silly purchases to myself? Well, I think it's all of the above. I mean, we've just got to, the way I see it, cars are primarily a tool to drive around. Okay, so in the main, we get a car because we like the style, we might like the make, you might just like cars. I've had a crap load of cars. In the last 5 years, I've probably owned 6 or 7 cars just because I like cars, okay? But I think when we start using the word cars as investments, we've got to just step back and really consider cars as just an alternate investment in our portfolio and actually put them in the same category as if you were buying precious metals, if you're buying gold, if you're buying silver, if you're buying pink diamonds, if you're buying anything that is very speculative, that could go up overnight, that could go down overnight. I think it's all in the same category. There are no guarantees in this life. So I think with cars, we need to consider them as an investment, like an alternate asset. Now, let's take the example of gold. I personally don't really invest in gold as an investment strategy. I invest in gold, like I'll give you an example. I'm holding this here and you can probably see it if you're watching on YouTube. It's a small coin and it's probably a little bit smaller than a $2 coin. Now, this is 99.99% gold. It's got a bit of weight to it. And I bought it in 2013, and it's basically solid gold, right? And it is a coin that's basically, the design on it is it's the anniversary of the Queen's coronation, so the 60th anniversary. I just thought that was cool. We can debate later about whether it is cool or not, but and I think that was around $1,000. Okay, so that's solid gold. It's probably not $1,000 worth of gold there, but I've obviously paid stamping and all that stuff. I've got some coins here. In 2012, when my nephews were born, and they don't even know they've got these, but I'll give them to them one day. They're 2 50-cent coins, basically. Again, the Diamond Jubilee. So just little coin things. I think I was just bored one night online. And then Grace, my niece, when she was born in 2010, I've also got her a 50-cent coin, and it's really cool. It's the Royal Engagement. Now, the thing is, yes, and I've got some other coins upstairs that I didn't bring down, and I've got to buy a safe to have in my home, so don't rob me, everyone. So I think it's important to note that I didn't buy these coins with all my money because I'm banking on them increasing in value. It's more of a personal interest. So that could be the same as buying a car. So it's a personal interest. It is a bit of an investment. I'm interested in coins. I'm interested in cars. I'm interested in X, whatever your X is. Over here in the studio, we've got an original Singer sewing machine, right? And that's probably worth $600. There's not many around anymore. There's a few on Gumtree. Now, some people might see that as an investment. But it's speculative. So I think what we need to get back to is, if we're buying crap like this, we need some guidelines in our life. Now, my guidelines are, I only buy speculative investments. So I only buy coins. I didn't buy that sewing machine, but you get what I'm saying. I only buy cars. I only buy this. once I'm completely out of consumer debt. Okay, so I've got no debt because, again, I wouldn't be investing if I've got consumer debt. Two, I'm personally not investing more than 10% of my net worth outside of my house into speculative investments. So, an example, if I've got $20,000 cash saved and I want to invest $20,000, I might put $18,000 into a run of the mill Vanguard Diversified High Growth Fund, for example, like an ETF. And then I might say, okay, that $2,000 I'm going to put into gold coins because I like the idea of gold and it's an investment and I like coins. So you might do that as a maximum, or precious metals or cars. So I think the whole thing is you just have to have some guidelines in your life. The car thing's tricky and it might be a while before you can because you do not want to borrow money to invest in cars. Realistically, I think you would only be borrowing money to invest. Well, see, I don't even borrow money to invest in shares because I can't stomach it. And I'm not really keen on debt anyway. But if we just keep to the coins and the cars, or the gold and the diamonds and the cars, I really don't think you're borrowing money to invest in speculative investments, because the problem is we just want that 10% limit, or whatever the limit is in your life, 5%. Be extra conservative, 5%. We just don't want to get emotional and put all our eggs in one high risk basket and then it gets flushed down the toilet and we've lost it all. But the upshot is, if we put 10% of that money into Bitcoin, for example, 5 years ago, you would have made a crap load of money. And that's kind of the difference with speculative investments. When they take off, they bloody take off. When they don't take off, you end up with nothing. And that's why whatever you do, we're capping what we're investing in terms of percentage of our net worth out of our home. And it might be that if you don't have a home, you might go, okay, well, I'll just do 5% or whatever that is. Okay, just think, what can you do as a rule in your life that removes you from the emotion of it? Now, I think the whole car thing, it's also a two-edged sword as well. Like, are you buying this GTR? Are you going to drive it as well? So you're driving around your investment, which means the cost is possibly, the value is going to be decreased because you're putting more kilometers on it, or are you buying it and it's going to be in a garage chocked up? Okay. So it's almost like a luxury investment, isn't it? The car thing. And I would like to buy an old Ford Cortina or something like that, but I've got nowhere to put it, and it's just actually ridiculous at this point in my life. I'm not passionate enough. So use your brain, jump into the Facebook group, ask more questions. Definitely no debt to buy this stuff. Think of a limit, 10% of your net worth outside of your home if you own a home. And don't get caught up in the hype. That's the biggest thing, because, and these coins, like, realistically, this gold coin, it's in a little container. You can hear that there. It's only really worth anything to me because I thought it was cool and I wanted to buy it and it's solid gold and all that. Yes, I do have a look and maybe buying some more gold, but just as coins. My watch, for example, I get a lot of crap for my watch that it's an expensive watch. People think I'm not entitled to a nice watch, but that's none of their business. But again, I didn't buy this as an investment. I bought it because I wanted it, and I didn't buy it because it might go up in value, but I want to maybe get this and hand it down to my nephews or my kids. So again, it goes back to a value play. And certainly with jewellery and stuff, I'm not spending more than probably 5% of my net worth outside of my home. Okay, just got to chill out, make sure your crap's insured. That's also an important thing. And I really don't know if I've added too much value to the conversation other than just have a system in place. I think Ethan's question in the Facebook group, it may have been some emotional justification. The fact that he's questioning whether it's an emotional justification, it probably means it is. But it's your money. You can do whatever you want with it, and it's no one's business. I'll just encourage you, because I'm not certainly above this, I'll just encourage you to have some parameters in your life. And if you buy something cool as an investment within your own parameters, let me know about it. I'd love to hear it. So thank you so much for listening to My Millennial Money Express. I'm Glen James, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.